Hey guys, and welcome to the episode 8 of the Unknown Gaming Podcast. I'm Tanner. I'm here with Stetson.
It's nice to see all y'all again. I guess I don't see all y'all again. It's nice to be on here again. It's nice to see Tanner again.
So yeah, um, we got the new Dark Angels Codex. Talk about that for just a second.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that for a little bit. I'm not going to go in depth. I mean, there's a million podcasts out there already. We don't get them ahead of time.
We were going to talk about last week, but you were gone.
Yeah, my bad. That's on me.
Way to go.
I don't know what to say. Throw me under the bus. But I mean, it's a pretty good codex. I mean, a lot of people are talking about how good it is. I don't think it's broken by any means. I think it'll be really tough to play against, but all Marine armies are pretty tough to play against. It's really flavorful for two factions. I mean, if you're doing vanilla Dark Angels,
there's almost no point to now.
Yeah, you're not getting a lot out of it. I mean, other than plasma, maybe your plasma squads, but I don't really know what you're getting. I'd rather be someone else if I'm going to go vanilla Marines.
Right.
But if you're going bikes or Terminators, you got to have a good time. Like, just doing math on Terminators, like, I think a Redemptor with a little above average rolling with shooting, we'll say they're at max range for all their shooting, like getting max shots and charging. I think you kill 3 if they have shields.
Yeah.
Like, that's with the charge and everything. I'm like, that's rough. You should survive and still kill the squad and get your points, but you're tied up for 2 turns, and that's assuming they don't bring another squad in. It's really good. On Bowls, I saw Goat Boy put up a list. It was like 30 plus characters of Terminators. Most had shields. It's tough.
It seems like Terminators in general are just really good this edition.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, my Death Guard Terminators are really good, too.
Yeah, I mean, and then I think they can, if I remember correct, there's a stratagem that makes them like your Death Guard Terminators where they have, like, the disgusting resilient rule. Where it's like, cool, we'll give you everything. You're welcome. Your boys at G-Dub got your back.
I guess that's what happens when you're chaos, but not really chaos.
Yeah. We're sort of chaos. I mean, not really. I haven't read all the fluff. I did read the fluff where they continue to say that what's-his-face is asleep in the rock because he's a lazy SOB. But eventually, I really want him to wake up.
I do too. Like, out of all the potential loyalist Primarchs, he's the one I want next.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, I'm not a huge Dark Angels fan, but I do want him. I do want that model. Like, you don't have to necessarily be a fan of the storyline.
Right. Well, in the storyline, it makes sense because it's kind of what the Imperium needs right now.
Yeah.
You have Gilliman, but he's the statesman. He's not really a warrior, but the Lion has the warrior aspect. But I think I think him and Gilliman would be more productive together than like Russ and Gilliman.
Yeah. Because although Gilliman wasn't actually a big fan of the Dark Angels, I think Russ has a statue on. Because Gilliman always said he could take on any opponent with his Faithful 4 or Stoic 4 or Stoic 3. Gosh, now I feel bad for the lore, but it's like Dorn, Iron Hands, Ferrus Manus, whose name literally is Iron Hands. I don't know how I can forget that. And I think the Wolf was one of them.
Okay.
I can't remember for sure. I know for sure Dorn and Ferrus Manus. But I don't know. I still want him. I feel like
yeah. Well, I think the specialty, these chapters that used to have their own codex, they're going to be the ones that are more likely to have Primarchs come back sooner.
You know what would be interesting is if he came back and somehow ended up on the other side of the rift. And built an empire over there, and then see how that storyline goes forward. So we're not chaos, but we have our own empire. Yeah. That'd be interesting. Like, my only complaint on the book is that instead of like making one of their special characters they already have become Primaris, is the stupid Lazarus, and I guess he kind of has a point. Maybe I don't like the mini. I would have rather had their chapter master become a Primaris.
Yeah.
It just how good everything else is. You just want that. I mean, I also kind of wanted Black Knights to become the Primaris Outriders.
Well, and with all the chapters so far, I wish they would primarisify the named characters faster.
Yeah, because I mean everyone's converting them up anyway. I'm about to
Right.
start on Pedro Cantor converting mine up because everyone's doing
Right.
it. And
Because, I mean, it seems outside of Ultramarines, I think every chapter only still has one character, named character.
yeah, and Ultramarines get everything because they're GW's
Yeah.
love child. But Azrael is his name. He really,
Yeah.
I mean, his model is. I think it was out there when I first started playing back in
Like-
2000.
Didn't the model come out in like second edition, I think?
I think so. It's when it came out, it was a great mini, but it just needs to be.
Some of the especially the metal sculpts, they don't last. Like, they're cool when they come out, but once you start seeing plastic stuff, they just can't hold up.
No, they can't like they did back then,
Right.
and it like even some of my favorite like Ashraff, and he's still a great model, but he's starting to look pretty
Yeah.
weak when you stack him up to some of the cool ones like Torgaradon
Uh-huh.
or
Well,
Ragnar.
And even if the sculpt is cool, the scale is increasing, so they're teeny tiny standing next to
Oh.
the newer guys.
Yeah, because I keep using Pedro, but like I put him in the army, and he's like, "Hi guys, I'm here. I'm leading the army. We're gonna go do it." But I understand they got a lot they got to do. Like even 8th and still going into 9th, they're doing a big shift on minis,
Yeah.
storyline. Heck, they're even going back and like, okay, that story we told you the first time. Okay, we told it wrong. That's on us.
Yeah.
Rebuy these books.
I know, and I read those books and I liked them, and now I'm like, do I need to go like reread the new ones, or can I just buy the third one?
How they know they got my money. They already know. They're like, we got. It's like the Resident Evil franchise. Like progressively, the movies got worse, but every time one came out, I'm like, it's gonna be terrible.
I'm gonna go see it.
Here's my $7. But they know it. I'm gonna buy it. But like those books, I actually was kind of disappointed with because they always talk about Gilman and Mortarion are about to go down. They're gonna fight the fight of the century in the first book. Not right now, though. In the second book, it's coming. We promise.
Yeah.
It's just, come on, give us the fight or give us a little taste. Have
Yeah.
them clash swords at least.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I was like wait for the third book, and then it's coming, but now you got to reread it all. Now I did like some of the Primaris characters. I thought Captain Felix was pretty cool.
Yeah. Did you already start the second Dawn of Fire book?
I haven't started it. I've read the first one though.
I read the first one. My book hasn't come yet because I did this.
Oh, you got the special one.
It looks good on the
Fancy one.
bookshelf. I'm a fancy guy.
They are cool.
It's hard to justify the cost.
Well, they sell out so fast. I don't.
Okay, so fun fact: they say stuff goes on sale at 12. You need to be on there at 11:56
Yeah.
because that's when they actually put it up there.
Okay.
So if you ever want one, I suggest don't going down that road. Because
Yeah.
once you're in it, you're like, well, crap, now I got to finish out this series.
Well, I'm very much a person that like all the books have to match on the shelf.
yeah.
So if I can't get one, I'm not paying like scalper prices for them.
Oh, see, that's what happened to one of my friends. So he's been doing the Siege of Terra books, and that fifth one came out. And so it came out at 12:56, and usually you have like 10, 15 minutes. I ordered mine, sent him a text, and so you're talking 3 minutes from the time I saw it to the time I texted him, and maybe 4 or 5 before he got on, and it was gone. And so he had to pay scalper prices at like $300 because
Yeah.
you have to. If you bought the first 4, and
You can't have just a regular one to finish the set.
yeah, so you either got to hope that the Citadel gets one in and you get there first, or you pay scalpers, who are the worst people alive. If you're a scalper, I hate you and everything about you.
At least they are trying to fight that a little bit with
Limits.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
There's still only so much that they can do.
because it means you just set up another account.
Well, I remember when the Indominus box came out, they were sending out cease and desist orders to people who had already listed it on eBay before it had actually released, because they were doing it because they were using the box art from the website, so they got them over the image.
Good, because so, on little stuff it doesn't matter. Like you're pre-ordering the speeder that's coming out, and you know you're getting 20 of them. Whatever. GW's still getting their money.
The speeder's not a limited release either.
Yeah. So like I get it on those, but I just hate scalpers. We just hunt down scalpers. If you have a family member, it's your job to stop them. You heard it here first. But overall, there's not a lot to say that hasn't already been said. Good book. If you like Terminators, you like bikes, this is the army for you. And I said I don't really like their storyline is still good. Like the Hunting the Fallen. Actually my only real complaint about their storyline is they're almost like Alfarius. We're super secret. Yeah, we're super secret. Everything the secret. What's your name? I can't tell you. It's a secret. I can tell you the name that the order gave me. Okay.
Yeah, so I recently finished Legion in the Horse Heresy, and I thought that book was annoying because of all the secrets.
It's a good book, but you get buried with it. It's like, no, I'm Hydra. No, I'm Hydra. No, I'm Hydra. Yeah,
it was definitely my least favorite of the Horse Heresy so far.
There's another book that's kind of like that when the war starts getting closer to Solar. They have like secrets on secrets and secrets meeting secrets.
We heard you like secrets, so we put a secret in your secret.
Actually, I think there's 2 books because there's one point where like 2 Alpha Legion forces end up fighting each other because one thinks they're still for the Emperor and one still thinks they're for Horus, and no one knows. I'm like, okay, that's when you done messed up, Aaron.
Yeah.
It's a cool idea, but you went too far with it.
Yeah.
But they're still good, and I like the green scheme. I like their old black scheme better, like the 30K stuff. Man, those Terminators with the great big swords, those are beautiful models.
Yeah,
I like those a lot. I like all the stuff in here, though. Telling you, if you like bikes or Terminators, that's probably your codex. The only other book I'd say for bikes would be White Scars, probably. You can put them in anywhere, but if you wanted to do bike heavy, those are your 2 go-tos. So you want to go to Crusade?
Yeah, let's do this. So we've been playing a lot of Crusade, me and Stetson. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, the only thing I have a complaint about is if you bought this stupid journal, I'm sorry you wasted your money too.
Yeah, so this is what I did. I made my own. It's a lot better.
All they did was print the same page and put it in here. So to make a list, it takes up like 20 pages instead of having...
They should have done 1 army page and then 20 unit pages.
Or maybe 2 army pages if you're getting... because you only have... I'm about to go past.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you did 2 army pages, should give you enough. And then, 20 of these regular unit pages.
Yeah.
And then another 2, so you can do multiple Crusade armies. But in this, it's army page, unit page, army page, unit page. And it...
Because every unit has to have a page, so you just waste all those army pages.
Yeah, and you wasted your money to get it. I bought it, so I'm going to use it, and my Crusade armies will always be in this till I run out of pages. But everything else about a Crusade, awesome.
It's been a ton of fun. I've got to do some cool stuff. I had 1 unit of Plague Marines that I got to upgrade, and now the Sergeant has a damage 2 bolter. Just little stuff like that.
You can write stories on it. Really, I've only thought about the stories for my characters. It's hard to think of stories for units. I'm trying to, because I want it to have... That's what you're going into.
Yeah, well, and I was kind of waiting for my book to come out to get into the story writing, because I wanted to see if I got a rule, and I totally got it, where you can save your battle honors. You get enough battle armors and experience point, you can upgrade to a Demon Prince.
Which is cool.
Yeah, so that's my whole story. Is this my lord is on his quest to gain demonhood,
which is a lot cool. I know you used. I think, can you still become a demon in game with regular Chaos Marines because they have that one spell like Boon of Chaos or Boon of Mutation. You could possibly turn into a spawn. You could possibly turn into.
It's not in my codex. It might be in the regular Space Marine, the Chaos.
They might get
Marines.
away with it, like, but this is at least a way to have that storyline in it because like
Right.
they started out where if your sergeant killed a character back in 6th edition, you could roll on a table and maybe turn into a demon prince. It was kind of cool, kind of stupid in game.
Yeah.
At least now we have a path forward to become a demon prince.
Right.
And you can talk about, I mean, you can build a story about all the atrocities that he's done to become who he is. And that's super cool. It does suck if you're playing one of the other codexes that doesn't have the extra fluff for Crusade.
Right. But they'll get it
there.
eventually.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're not playing Crusade, I recommend doing it. I get that a lot of people are tournament players. I'm a mostly tournament player, I'd probably say, or match play. But I love Crusade. My main character is something I wouldn't play in a Crusade game or the build for her. I mean, I do play her in match play, but she's probably not necessarily the best allocation of resources there. But I like it a lot. You have to be careful building your army because, like, now I've been saving up those requisition points so I can. I think next game we play, I'm going to try to add the Exorcist and maybe another Canonist. I mean, I'm not putting them in the list, but at least have them in my pool of drawing from.
It does take several. It takes a few games before you we're nowhere near playing a 2,000 point game because you have to earn the power level. As you go.
So I think right now I'm at 55. What's a 2,000 point? 100 power level equivalent, close to.
Let's see. I've got. I've used 66. That's how much power level I have in my pool right now.
So I'm about to go to 70 after I spent 69 after I spend 9 for an Exorcist, and actually Canonist might only be 4, so I'm about to get there. Or not get to 100. You'd have to play.
Right.
You get 1 requisition point per game played, 2 if you win. Some of the missions might give you a little bit extra. I think so far the coolest one of Crusades is definitely Death Guard, just because you get to build that plague specific. What are you doing with your storyline on your guy? What's his life goal?
So I'm trying to get my lord to demonhood, and then he's got the sorcerer helping him, and I haven't fleshed out a bunch of details of the story, but I have named everybody. That was probably the hardest part of putting the list together, was coming up with names.
Yeah, I pulled up Spanish names because mine are in the Crimson Fist area, so I assumed so I gave them all Spanish names, and that took me a little bit to decide which ones I wanted to, and then I decided my purity of purpose is the only way to be truly righteous is in battle, because then you're filled with the Emperor's true love. If you're defeating his enemies, anything else is not good enough in this galaxy.
Now that I have my hobby table back, I've decided to start kind of modeling some of the effects. So my sorcerer lost a leg, so I need to cut his leg off, and I'm put a little nurgling under there or something.
Oh yeah, I forgot you lost your leg.
Yeah.
You have the worst luck on units that get knocked out.
I know.
I think we've played 3 games, and he's rolled at least 2 1s.
Yeah.
Every time he rolls for units, I haven't had any unit get mortal or wounded yet.
Yeah, it sucks.
And I lost most of my army last time. I had to roll 7 or 8 dice, and I was like, well, I walked away fine.
And then on my my mortar guy, the plan was always to put kill marks on the side, but he's sucked so far. He doesn't have any kill marks on him.
Well, if I bring the Exorcist, maybe it'll be. Who killed the Rhino? No, the Rhino hasn't died yet, has it?
I did kill a Rhino. He's got 1 kill with him.
So see, there we go. He's got 1. Got that Rhino. Totally worth it.
I just need you to keep putting a Rhino in your list so I can keep blowing it up.
Yeah, I took it out last time because I wanted to give my Seraphim a go because they hadn't played.
Well, and it's hard with these smaller games because you play on the smaller board. It takes no time at all to get into combat. Yeah, but with a lot of the missions, board control is the name of the game, and on a board that small, like there's almost no point in deep striking because there's no room to come in the on the back side of the table.
Or off the side, because if you do the reserves, you almost have to wait the third turn because you really can't get in 9 inches away and not be in the deployment zone of your opponent.
Right.
It's
So like the last game we played, I deployed everything, even my Terminators, and I think that's kind of helped me out because I forget the name of the mission we played, but I was guarding objectives. You were trying to destroy them.
yeah, that was a hard mission.
Yeah,
Like either side.
it was like perfect for me.
Oh yeah.
I just kind of sat there and tried not to die.
I threw wave after wave of my own women. We need to do some better jobs coming up with some stories on these.
Yeah.
I think that next game we play, your character has to have a paragraph of backstory.
Okay.
It's what are his life goals, motivations, what's his weakness? Like make it a D&D kind of ideals build.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Just we got to.
I have a page set aside to write all that stuff down. I just
Oh, you know, it'd be
haven't done
cool if I had a page for that. Oh, I guess I do since I have an extra army page on everywhere. I mean, I want to do what you're doing, but I'm like, no, I spent my money. We're going to use this. It's like when I throw a unit in a game, I'm like, why do you put that unit in there? Because I spent money, I built it, I painted it, he's on the board. I don't know what else could you do with Crusade. Like I feel like the next level after we build storylines is like I need to work up on some specific terrain just for where we're fighting at. Say we're always fighting on the same planet.
See, that would be the next step is you get your group of friends that are doing it to have a story between everybody.
Yeah, we're doing a certain system.
Uh-huh.
That would be fun. So really we need to get Chris and Darren.
Yeah.
And Ramos. And like the other 2 or 3 of our friends.
Yeah.
Which that would be all Marines and me.
Now I could make a new Crusade army. That would be something different.
No, you've always been Death Guard. You be Death Guard. Like I almost still was tempted to do Crimson Fist, but I was like, no, I'm gonna be a little bit different because this way it's forcing me to paint my sisters. Because I've gotten all the infantry except for a few painted, and I'm looking at the tanks, and I hate painting tanks.
Yeah, they're not my favorite either. They're just
time consuming. They look great when they're done, but you wear yourself out on it.
Well, and like I like to change the paint jobs up on the vehicles to differentiate.
Yeah.
You know, like they'd have markings like they would in real life, but there's just so much flat space that sometimes it's hard to get creative with them.
Yeah, like I did that for like my guard. Like I did different red stripes because it was tan. And I did like different red stripes in different directions just to give some variety. I'm thinking for my sisters because I want 2 to 3 immolators and 2 rhinos. So 1 rhino I'm going to paint red with black accents, and I might do the other one like with red accents. I may not. I do like the variety just so it's easier to mark. If I want to mark them somewhere else, I can mark like the black one's been damaged or the red one's been blown up or
right.
But I hate painting vehicles. That's the one bright side about Marines. You take 1 or 2, maybe 3 vehicles, and the rest is usually infantry and bikes and stuff, or small vehicles like speeders.
Right.
Same with custodes. I mean, you have the dreadnoughts, and orcs even. I actually, as many models as I painted for orcs, I actually enjoyed painting the orcs. And I'm excited they're getting new models, but now I'm like, okay, so I get to repaint 120 models.
Yeah.
Great. So what project are you going to be working on next? I know you got your the first wall. You're still working on.
Yeah, I'm still working on the first wall, which that might branch out into maybe kind of rounding it out, but then branching out into a complete Black Templars list, depending on whether they get their own book. Because it's been rumored. I think it's coming.
Black Templars can do a lot with conversions, and you like conversions.
Yeah, I love conversions. I've got an idea for a Death Guard list that includes Typhus, a Terminator Sorcerer, as many Blight Lords as I can fit, and then filling out the rest of the list with Poxwalkers.
So what's your storyline on your AdMech that I know you got in the boxes?
I did so for Christmas. I got the rest of what I need to get to 2,000 points of AdMech.
So you know where you're kind of going on that, like.
I've got it's not painted as Mars, but I'm played as Mars because I've got Belisarius Call as my warlord, and then I've got 6 full units of Skitarii, and I'm gonna stick them all in transports, and
Storm Normandy.
yeah, Storm Normandy. That's the plan.
It's gonna look really cool.
I had to change it up from my original version because all the points changed. I was like, no.
It's the hardest thing being a gamer because you want to work on all projects at the same time, and you don't have the time. And like you'll be like, I want to work on this one guy, but my army isn't finished. Like that's dragging me down right now. Sisters, like I have all that Necron stuff that hasn't been built. I want to work on it. I want to work on this Red Scorpion kind of army I want to build so I can, go to competitive play and say I'm whatever chapter I want to be.
Right.
And I know that their book says they're supposed to be Ultramarines, and if anyone tries to hold my feet to that, I'll be like, we're not Red Scorpions. We're now Galactic Scorpions.
I mean, they're
Void Scorps.
Void Scorps.
Just we're red insects, not red scorpions. Don't be confused by our paint scheme. You can't tell me what I'm gonna do. Really, it was a hard picking. Like when you want to make your own chapter, like making your own chapters are a lot of fun. Like I just really wanted Caleb Colwyn though. I know I talked about that last time. That model, like the only model that might have tempted me more or tempted me away was the Minotaur guy. What's his name? Moloch?
Oh yeah,
Morlock. That's a cool model too. I'm not a huge fan of the chaplain that is there also, but Morlock's pretty cool. I also think that'd just be a fun army to convert up. I have been doing like
that one that you showed me last time I was over. That shield would be very Minotaur-y too.
yeah. So I'm kind of mixing. I'm actually taking like 3 chapters and mixing elements. Like I like the storyline behind the Emperor's Spears, and if you haven't read that book,
that book was really good.
That was. It was Aaron Dabowski, wasn't it? Or however you say it.
I don't remember.
I think it was. He's a great writer. I love the theme of it, where we're so far outside the Imperium, we don't really care what the Imperium's doing. We have to save our world. Y'all do whatever
and they're
you
like,
want.
it's really interesting because they're Ultramarine successor, but they're very Space Wolfy.
They are Space Wolfy or White Scarry, yeah, somewhere in there. Like very feral.
They remind me like just the way it's described with their tattoos and stuff. They remind me of like Maori warriors, like Pacific Islander stuff.
Man, if I thought I was really good at conversions, did you see like was it like a year ago when someone posted like that Chartadon? I can't say words. Y'all can make fun of me all you want in the comments. Like this Maori warriors with like
I haven't seen that one. I'll have to look it up.
yeah, they put it on Warhammer Community, but it was well done. It was really it was a real. I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Like I could. No, I'm not. Let's be honest with who I am. I paint in dark colors so you can't see mistakes. Like most of my armies are red and a version of tan because I've gotten good at painting those two.
Yeah.
I can paint blue. That's my 3 colors. Like I want to paint a green army, and I'm still tempted to do the red scorpions and instead of red scorpions, doing like green with a black scorpion and call them black scorpions and still use Caleb Colwyn, but I don't know how well that'd look. And there's already painting guides for red scorpions.
I don't care. You want a white army? I'll give you a white army.
I'm not doing white. Never. You will never see me paint a white army. If you did, there was a gun to my head, and it's going to look terrible. Or I paid someone, and it looks great. That's the only options I have on white armies. So I was going to mix, so that one I showed you with the shield, so I'm kind of mixing the Minotaurs with the Emperor Spears with the Red Scorpions, just to get, because I kind of like that shield spear theme, so like all my Blade Guard, instead of anything that has a power sword, I'm probably going to give a spear to. Most stuff with chain swords, I'll probably give like a chain glaive to. Like,
right.
Just to get a nice a little different feel because this
It
is
looks cool. Like the Space Marines are so generic if you don't do anything to them.
yeah.
That just a little extra detail like that really makes them unique.
They make them yours
Uh-huh.
as opposed to like someone else. Like my Crimson Fists are pretty generic, and I'm okay with that because like I still love the Crimson look feel, and they're very much a Codex Astartes army.
Right.
So the army I don't want to be as Codex Astartes. Still pretty Codex. I mean, we're not space wolves. We're not heretics, but we do have. I would do want us to have our own little flavor there. One day I want to build AdMech too. That's way down the line. I've got too many projects. That's the last Imperial army I need, so I can have the entire Imperium fighting for me. When you're going to impress someone, you need all your forces to impress them.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you're going to beat Marines? That's okay. My little mini guardsmen are here in the millions. That's another kit I'd like to see upgraded. The guardsmen have been around for a while.
Yeah, and I'd like to see something other than Cadia.
Well, Katie is gone.
Right. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but maybe give us like official Talorn kits or something. Just something that's
Not the metal ones. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if they would do it because I don't know if there's enough followers for each of those armies, but you could also still do like upgrade sprues like you do for Space Marines.
Right.
So
Well-
you just have a couple of heads in these upgrade sprues with like maybe an extra weapon. Or
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they did it for Gene Stealer Cult. Gene Stealer Cult probably has a very small following. I mean, I need to work on that. Gene Stealer Cults are pretty cool.
last year when I was trying to choose what to do, I was down to Gene Stealer Colts or AdMech, and I went with AdMech mostly because the there's not very many options for Gene Stealers, but you still need a ton of models.
Oh, yeah, so the other day I thought I was going to play a game. I think it was against you or somebody. I was like, I'm going to play Gene Stealer Cult. And I was like, I think I have enough. Oh, no, I've got like 30 of the multi-arm, almost Gene Stealer guys, and I need about 50 to 60 of those. And then I have 20 of the more human-like guys. People are going to make fun of me. I'm like, don't you know the names to anything? No, I don't. I refer to the Invader ATV as the moon car. I just make up names for things. I'm really excited to see your AdMech, though. I think that'll just be a fun look. You might have to order a special map that's like a beach.
That's kind of what I was thinking, you know, and
I'll buy some of the stupid Space Marine bunkers.
you know, actually, what I was thinking is we ought to get just a blue mat, and then make little like island kind of pieces, and house rule it to where you have to have like the fly keyword or something to go over the water, and connect all the land with bridges or walkways or something. You know.
Trying to think what army I could even play on that. I mean, I guess like, well, building an Eldar list. Or I have Tau, I guess.
I mean, with your Primaris, if you stuck them in one of the new vehicles.
Oh, that's true. So I would have to take some repulsors or impulsors.
Yeah, fly everybody across the water and then get them out. But I think something like that would be a lot of fun. That's where like terrain really makes the game interesting.
I'm still mad that GW kind of priced the point-wise the repulsor and the executioner out of games.
Yeah.
Because more so the executioner.
The executioner is such a cool model.
All they have to do is give us our 2 shots, our double shoot back. I don't know if it's that broken at that point cost.
Yeah.
I mean, you're telling me I can have 2 shots with my eradicators who would still be better than a 2-shot.
Well, and like the executioner, it doesn't have the core keyword, so it's not like you're re-rolling everything.
Yeah, and then they need to give it where if you stand still with the gladiator with the same gun, needs to be able to shoot 4 times too, because otherwise you're never going to see it on a battlefield. Unless you just like the look, and I really do like the look of that gladiator version.
Yeah.
Like my friend Adam, he only plays what he wants to play, and he's going to do 3 of those, because he used to do the 3 predators.
Okay.
But now he's going to take what his old Marine list was and move it up to Primaris. So, all respect to people that play what they want to play. I've got a bad habit of being like, well, but this is good. Like, I feel bad because you didn't give any of your Death Guard upgrades. And I'm like, oh man, I paid power levels. I can give all the upgrades
Yeah,
for free.
I am a play what you want to play kind of player. I just do it. I build a lot of my stuff for just lore reasons, you know.
And I'm trying to be more like that because I play you more than I play competitive anymore. So there's no reason for me to be competitive anymore. It's just hard to beat it out of me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Has Chris built his Crusade list yet? I've been telling him we're like,
I don't think so.
dang it, Chris.
So we're sitting here in the new studio. We're moving over to the new building, and for the time being, until the offices are built, Chris is sharing my office. So I'm gonna just have to start nagging him every day.
Yeah, every day. Hey, look, it's like you got a 15-minute break. You know what you could do during 15
Be
minutes?
building a Crusade list.
You could build, like, if you just did 1 unit selection every break you take, like in a week, you'd have a Crusade list, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a failure on his part.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed, but we're super excited about this new space.
Yeah. So
I
we're...
say we. I'm not part of the company. But this building is big.
It's big, and we're gonna have a decent sized game room.
I mean, I know part of it's going to be y'all shipping and y'all's actual business, but even the part that's left for comics,
It's still big.
Like if you love comics, you love gaming, this is the place you're going to be.
Our retail portion is gonna be huge. I know Chris is actually driving to Dallas today to go pick up more shelving. We're gonna have a decent sized game area. The studio that we're in right now, we're actually going to build a game table in here.
Do you like that after you move that they put the store? Oh, well, I guess your house was right in the middle of both stores anyway.
Yeah, my old house was right between both locations. But
I feel like they moved the store over here for me. They made it closer for me, and I really appreciate that. Although, I will say there was a location closer to my house that they could have done, but I'll let it go. I'll let it go.
Just this once.
Just this once. But like in like a week, y'all already done so much to it. You've got paint up.
Yeah, we've been painting. I actually just painted these 2 walls black yesterday so we could record in here.
Are you gonna get like a logo put up, or are you just gonna put like a banner?
Oh, we've got some banners. So this room we're gonna try and keep it to where it's pretty easy to change out the look, and the studio next door is going to have grid wall like our other one, so we can do live sales and stuff.
That's cool. Yep. Like the stuff y'all, that Darren and Chris and you have done, like Darren going from Hastings and then building this as quick and fast as he did is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that's going on. I mean, I know there's not like a true store for it right now. I mean, there kind of is.
There kind of is, like you can walk in and buy stuff, but it's not set up real well.
Like I'm super excited. If you're from out of town, and I don't know how many viewers we have, like 20 for the gaming side.
Yeah, the gaming side we don't have just a ton yet, but we're working on it.
But if you're ever from out of town, like you should definitely stop by. We're over by the mall. We're off the highway now.
Yeah,
pretty
we're
easy to
super
find.
easy to find. You're gonna be able to see our sign from the highway.
And when I said the highway, I-40. I guess if you're coming up from Lubbock, you wouldn't be off that highway.
Well,
but
you could still get here easily from there.
I mean, you're getting to the loop, cutting around. There you are, and we'd be super excited to meet people. I mean, I know everyone's got their game store in their hometown, but heck, even if you're not buying stuff, we'd like to see people come in.
Yeah, and we want to, like, when this is done, this is going to be a place that you're going to want to come to Amarillo just to see.
Yeah, just to see Tanner. I mean, the 20 of you who I know are watching the channel just to see Tanner's beautiful face. We got him live.
No pictures, please.
I think Darren will disagree. You'll take the picture if they're paying, and you'll sign it. What was Space Jam where they're trying to take them to the amusement park? And
Oh, yeah.
That's what you'll do. You'll play games against the guests, and you'll lose every time.
Yeah, it should be cool. And a few weeks ago, Darren went to the Citadel, and he's like, "It's cool, but we can totally beat it." So that's our goal.
Yeah, Citadel's price. I mean, it's in downtown Grapevine, so that store location probably still not cheap.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as a store, this could easily beat that. I mean, I love the Citadel. Nothing against the Citadel. The workers there are phenomenal.
Yeah,
The knowledge.
it's a cool place.
Like, I think I go every time I go to Dallas. Like,
I do too.
like, do you want to go see something cool or the Citadel? The Citadel is cool. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. It works out, though, because Wife goes looks at yarn stores, which are everywhere, and I go to the Citadel, so everyone's happy.
I always have such a hard time because I'm like, oh, but I could get this stuff for less than retail just on Amazon or get Chris to order it for me. But I'm at the Citadel.
If I'm at the Citadel, I usually just buy Forge World or a book.
Yeah.
Like something I can't get here, like a pen or something.
Yeah.
Maybe dice. Maybe if there's something that's harder to get, like the website's out, Chris can't order it, but you can get it at the Citadel because every once in a while they'll have stuff that you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah. And that's been nice. I've tried that a couple times, but I want one of those, the Age of Sigmar Nurgle, the dudes that ride the sloths. Those are, you know which ones I'm talking about?
The big ones, like
Yeah.
the ones that are like that.
Yeah. Those
Yeah.
are hard to find outside of the website.
I wouldn't think that was a super popular model. I mean, it's a cool model, but it's been out for
A long time. It's one of the ones that migrated over from Fantasy.
yeah. I mean, that was out when this was the Tables at Edge and a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like when I was still under 30. That was a good model. That was before. Was that before Age of Sigmar even started giving like actual point costs?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantasy model.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was in fantasy.
Mm-hmm. It had a square base originally.
Are you excited about the old world stuff?
I'm super excited about Old World.
Like the only stuff they've really shown though is for like the
Kislev is about the only official thing they've shown.
yeah. What's your thoughts on the characters they've been showing for Curse City?
They look cool. I haven't given it much thought just because I don't play many of the boxed games.
Yeah, I have interest in that one guy because I think he would look like a good inquisitorial henchman.
Yeah.
The guy that looks like an inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
That they showed an elf yesterday. It looks pretty cool.
The Wood Elf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see the villains. I mean, they keep showing us heroes. So I want to see
Yeah.
some vampires or a werewolf or
I'm super excited for the Old World stuff though, because by the time I really got into Games Workshop, fantasy wasn't a thing. But I've gone back and read all the lore, and it's probably my favorite setting.
the story writing for the old world was better than the story writing for Age of Sigmar.
I hate the Age of Sigmar stories.
Well,
It's too abstract of a setting.
yeah, like it's not the writer's fault. They do the best they can. I've read a few short stories, but the setting is, like you said, so abstract. It's almost like they're fighting in the realm of chaos all the time.
Right. It's hard to make it feel like the story matters because it doesn't really affect any other stories in the universe.
Yeah, and I get you could say that about 40K, but 40K is the same galaxy. So
Right.
if you wanted a different story, you could just go to a different part of the massive galaxy and say it's happening on this one asteroid,
Right.
or this one world. But yeah,
Well, and it makes more sense because it's a galaxy on planets that we can comprehend, whereas Age of Sigmar, they're these realms that just kind of exist.
Yeah.
They're not planets. They're not, they're just kind of in the ether.
I'm a little disappointed on that front.
But speaking of Age of Sigmar, that was really the first kind of Games Workshop we started playing together.
Was it?
Yeah, we played War Machine, but then then we played Age of Sigmar. But
Age of Sigmar is a great game. Like if you
I want to get back into it more. I'm thinking real hard about getting Head Knights of Slaanesh.
should. I will sponsor anybody who's buying more drugs.
The-
I mean, I'm not going to give you money. I'm just saying you should definitely spend more money.
So the reason that I haven't really done much with it is I've had a hard time finding an army where I just love every model.
Like, because you were really excited about High Elves.
And I like a lot of the sculpts, but then there's several sculpts I'm just not crazy about.
You don't like your Kangaroo Archers?
So the ones I don't like are the cow dudes.
The cow dudes.
Like the mountain spirits.
Yeah, I
And so the hammer elves are weird too. The horns are too high up on the helmet.
Yeah, granted, I don't like elves anyway, generally. If Eldar ever get redone, I would almost like to build a bike army, but then that'd be breaking some of Stetson's codes.
But especially when the models I don't like are the big ones, it's hard because your army has to have a centerpiece.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to get behind it because I'm so much more into the hobby than the game itself. But with these Slanesh guys, like, I'm pretty like they're all cool.
Yeah, even if your one centerpiece model was, dang it, what's his name?
Sigvald,
Yeah, like even if that was your one, it was
Fulgrim, but not Fulgrim.
the better Fulgrim model. uh, like even the crab pulling monstrosity.
That one's cool. Like all the infantry are cool.
Oh, I love the shield guys.
Yeah,
I'm not huge onto the archers. Okay, actually, I do.
but then like I think all of the because this is just an update of the one that came out a year or two ago. So I think you can play all of the demons in this army also.
Okay, well,
Because that book was called Head Knights of Slanesh also.
so then I mean you'd have a lot going on. I also like the guys riding the Slanesh.
What are those things called?
Yes,
Fiends, I think is what they're called.
yeah, those look cool. Like,
Yeah.
it's a pretty sweet army. And it'd be if does Age of Sigmar have a lot of objective-based games? We haven't played a lot. We haven't played in a while.
Well, even when I remember the games I remember playing, I don't think we really played any missions. I think we just played,
Yeah,
just tried to kill each other.
I need to go back to playing my orcs. I think the last time I played with my those bone guys, the Aussie.
Oh yeah,
Whatever. They're kind of fun. Like the only part I get like kind of annoyed about Age of Sigmar is when you get jammed in one spot. Like,
yeah.
and
Just everyone piles in the middle of the board.
Yeah, and you just sit there, and I get annoyed playing the golden dudes,
Sigmarines.
the Sigmarines, because they have. What annoys me about them is like if your army does something, technically my army should be able to do something that semi protects. So if you have psychers, usually you can take your own psyker if you want to, except for Tau. I don't know if Tau has any protection against psychers. Does Necrons? No, okay. Either way, most armies have a way to protect against most things, but the Sigmarines have all these shooting attacks that aren't shooting attacks. So your characters don't get protection, because the protection in there is -1 to hit if you're a character, but these just auto hit. So unless you bring bodyguards, and even then, if they only had one thing that could do it, but they have usually 2 or 3 things that are just like, cool, shot you, did it.
Well, and like they get 3 releases for everyone else's 1.
Yeah, there's like, how many Sigmarines? Like, orcs still have like 7 units.
Because with every other battle tome, it's like they give you just enough to make an army with like 1 or 2 choices, but there's really not anything to choose from. And that's part of why I had such a hard time building an army, because they did it especially bad with anything that migrated over from fantasy. So I inherited other Tanners. There's another Tanner in our community. I inherited all of his high elves, and they were cool. I had a ton of elves, but none that cohesively fit in a single army because of the way they assigned the battle line keyword.
Yeah, it was really weird how they split the armies, like wood elves being separated from the trees. And then others they kept together, like lizardmen, they pretty much kept all of their stuff together. Seraphim, I'm sorry.
I do wish the army building was more like 40k with the detachments.
Yeah.
Just because, like I said, sometimes you only have one battle line choice. And that battle line has to make up the vast majority of your army. So if there was a way to change that formation to where you could take more of other things, I would like that.
Yeah, like, because, well, then again, you still go back to the problem where some armies don't have the options.
Right.
Like, I said orcs. If you take a regular orc army with mixing Iron Jaws and Savage Orcs, I guess you would have more units, but I have Iron Jaws, and I have 2 troop battle lines, Black Orcs and Brutes. No, I have 3. Of my 7 choices, 3 are because the Hog Riders,
Yeah.
their battle line. So I guess most of that army is actually battle line and then characters. I'm trying to think if anything's elite in that, or what do they call their elites? They have behemoths and other.
That might just be called, I don't remember.
Yeah,
I think it's just under other.
Yeah.
It's like, I had a ton of sword masters. but the sword masters were only battle line if you took a certain sect of elves. But I didn't have any characters from that.
You should have just done whatever you wanted. I mean, you're only playing me. We're not playing
Yeah.
tournaments.
Yeah.
Like, I've never even played in an Age of Sigmar tournament. No, I might have played in one, and I might have hated it. No, I didn't. I had a good time. But it was like real low points, like maybe 1,000 points, and then someone brought that stupid beetle lady, like when Age of Sigmar first got points, and she was just almost nigh unkillable. And I killed her, but I couldn't win the game because it was about killing characters. And he only had one character, and he killed 2 of mine. And the only other way to win was to kill this one other unit that could jump from table edge to table edge. So I had no way to catch. I'm like, cool, that's a fun game.
Yeah.
Sometimes GW's missions are real one-sided. Like they had that tournament last year for 40K, and they ran with their missions out of the book. And the mission that got selected round 1 was kill characters, and my characters were tanks, which are easily targeted, and his characters were hidden behind the lines. And he got first turn. I'm like, so I did a lot of damage, got to a lot of objectives, but I couldn't do anything else because I couldn't get to his characters.
Right.
And I don't like missions that are like so one-sided.
I like it when it changes around. They are bringing back the
White Dwarf this month.
well the
Maelstrom.
Maelstrom. Yeah.
Super excited about that just for our games.
Yeah, I mean that's probably my favorite way to play.
It just because then you can almost build your list any way you want because it doesn't really matter.
Right, and it changes it. To me, Maelstrom is like the ultimate balancing between a new player and the most experienced player in the world.
Yeah, and if you're a new player and you want to get into the game, I say for a while just play Maelstrom. Get the Codex, play Maelstrom. It's a good way. You're not going to get depressed. Like if you play a match play game and you just got into the game and you've got whatever you spent your money on, because I mean there's a barrier to entry sometimes on Gilding's army, because I think heck you can spend $500 and not necessarily have a 2,000 point army.
Yeah, I've been there for sure.
Yeah, so you don't play Maelstrom of War. You might win based on the cards alone, and you're going to have a good time, because if you just lose your first 5 games, you're going to get depressed.
Yeah, I mean that's a good way to get someone out of the hobby, is just to stomp them their first several games.
Yeah, it ruins the game. Like I feel like that's why Magic generally loses players sometimes, because they'll just stomp people.
Yeah,
and like so either you have the will to win and you go build a better deck, or you just decide it's not for you.
Right.
And also, people don't just stomp new people. Play Maelstrom War. Have fun. Throw stupid stuff out there just to keep people playing. It's a hard game to get into sometimes. And GW's made it easier. Like, I was thinking about it the other day. Like, a good just start to get into the game. Buy the Dark Angels Patrol and the Blood Angel Patrol. And you've got a great
That's
start.
a pretty good start, yeah.
And that's still, what, 280? But 280, for 280, I've got 4 troops. I've got an elite. I've got a transport. I've got 2 characters, 2 good characters. What else do you get in that? You get a good dreadnought. You have a decent army right there, no matter which Marines. Like, and then you even have some sprues that you can trade or sell to try to get you like an extra character or something else. And if you had like the 500 buying, and you're doing Marines, the combat patrols for Death Watch, and the other 2, Blood Angels and Dark Angels. You probably got close to 2,000 points. Do you remember what's in the Death Watch one?
I don't remember what's in the Death Watch one.
I know it's a lieutenant is the character. Don't remember the rest, but you're getting the pieces you need, along with if you bought the starter set when it came out and split it with somebody. So there are ways to get in cheap if you're playing Marines, or right now if you're playing Necrons. I know some of the other armies, like
even the old start collecting boxes were a cheaper way of getting into it, because I mean that's how I built the majority of my AdMech. Was I bought like 5 start collecting boxes because I needed they were about the same price as the tank alone in the box. So I was basically buying the tank and then getting a 10-man unit of Skitarii and a character for free.
Like Astra Militarum was the same way. Either of their boxes were awesome. Like especially the who's the elite Astra Militarum, the Tempestus.
Yeah.
That was a great box. You could buy 5 of those, and you were set up pretty well. You'd be close to 2,000 points with your upgrades and making
Mm-hmm.
better and stuff. So that was a good one. The Admech was a great one. The Gene Stealer Colt, you are limited to buying 3 to be useful because you can only run 3 of that truck.
Mm-hmm.
But if you also had orcs, I guess you could buy more into the orcs. But like so, because that was a great. Like I bought 2, and I'm gonna buy a 3rd eventually when I go back to working on my Gene Stealer Colt. Like most of those were good. There's a few that were like, eh. But most of them you could buy 2 or 3. Even the ones that have special characters, because like Death Guard has Typhus, but you don't have to run him as Typhus. You could paint one as Typhus, convert the other one up to be
Like Lord of Contagion or something. Yeah.
Lord of Contagion, or a sergeant in the what's the Terminators with
Oh, the Death Shroud.
Death Shroud. You make it a sergeant in there, or convert it to be something completely different. And the same with the Thousand Suns, because they come with Armin, so you could build 2 versions of Armin if you wanted, I guess. One on the ground, one not
Right.
if you didn't want to magnetize, or just build another sorcerer. So they were convertible models that you could make to whatever you want. So you could still buy 2 or 3 of those boxes if you were wanting to build that army.
Right.
So what other games have we played recently? We've only done really GW games.
Yeah, we've been playing 40K for a while. I did get stuff to play Necromunda. I just
Yeah.
need to get it put together.
Yeah, and we can try that. And then I just told, like, I know that y'all sent me the rules for Blood Bowl, but I just told Chris to order me the Blood Bowl book.
Yeah.
Need to paint that up, which that shouldn't be hard. I think it's like 12 models. I can get that painted up.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got some Blood Bowl.
And then we gotta do a kill team battle report sometime soon.
Yeah, that's gonna probably be the first game we start doing bat reps with is kill teams.
Yeah, I might have to do that because I think I'm working Fridays for the next 3-4 weeks. So, but
Yeah, because Chris got us all the rule books, so I'm gonna read that over, try and read as much as I can over the weekend. And being that it's played with 40K models, I've got enough 40K models I can play several different kill teams.
hey, I think you and Chris should go ahead and set one up and do that right after he builds his Crusade list.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I think we're right about time, so be sure you can follow us on Facebook at Unknown Comics, Instagram. You can also find us on the Twitters at unknown_comics. And as always, please like and subscribe and hit that little bell so you get all the notifications.
thanks again for y'all's time.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.